Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dark Rhino Security Confidential. Today, we are honored to have David Meese join us. David is a SOC analyst. He's a cyber mentor, an educator, and founder and creator of CyberTech Dave. He holds a master's degree in information systems and has a wide range of skills, ranging from teaching to virus removal and everything in between. He's a really solid person with a lot of experience in cybersecurity. He is passionate about cybersecurity and enjoys using his platform to teach people how to protect themselves and stay safe online. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to get a real practitioner on and talk about a few things. Now, you're a real passionate guy. We know that. And there was a topic that you had brought up and that I think it would be great to kick this off with is how to use LinkedIn to break into cybersecurity. Now, that's something that you don't hear all the time. Give us some guidance here.
Yeah, what I did, I suggest people what I did, and I would get on LinkedIn probably 15 minutes at a time, maybe three times a day, let's say. Just get on and comment on other people's posts, provide value, feedback. Then I would also post, in the beginning, I was just posting maybe once every week because, of course, like everyone, starting out, you're afraid to post, but once you realize it's not that bad, a lot of people get imposter syndrome and they're afraid, to post because they're afraid what people might think or, like what level you're at. For instance, even if you post, I tell people, even if you post about fundamentals, A plus, net plus, security plus stuff, as long as you're teaching someone, it doesn't matter what level you're at. And so I realized that, pretty early on. So I started posting. I got up to 3 times per week. The main thing I believe is just staying consistent.
And was that an optimal number, by the way? Just out of curiosity, is 3 times the magic number, or twice, or what's your?
I would say between 3 to 5 times. There's really no hard facts, of course, but I would say I'm up to 5 times a day. I post, per week.
It's man, you're a busy guy.
But I can tell you this: if you post, I'm in Eastern time, so 10 o'clock of the morning, between 10 and 11 is that sweet spot because you get your content out there. It hits the algorithm more, and you get more people. Get it in front of more people that way. So you always want to post, I'd say between 10 and 11 o'clock. Of course, that's Eastern for me. And I would say my best days to post would be for me, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I've had the most success on posting. I would like to let people know that too. And as far as targeting a role, if you're trying to get into a position, I know you had mentioned talk about LinkedIn, leveraging LinkedIn to find a job. What I did, I picked let's say you'd want to pick 3 to 5 companies that you want to work for, and then you would target those companies and just focus. And like me, I was wanting to become a SOC analyst. So what I did was I reached out to as many people, as many SOC analysts and, blue teamers as I could. That way I could, reach out and say, could I get a 15-minute coffee chat with you, to maybe talk about your role. You'd be surprised, how many people that's willing to help you. I just tell people, don't be afraid, to reach out to people, because at best the worst they can say is no, or just don't respond at all. And then, like, if you was wanting to become a penetration tester, you'd want to
Yeah.
reach out to pen testers, people on the red team, maybe ask like what their day-to-day task, maybe ask what their interview process was. I would also reach out on LinkedIn to recruiters. I would reach out to hiring managers, find out decision makers in the company, like really get to know people, and get to know what the role is about, and just put your name out there and just keep networking.
And so when you did this, how was the response? So as an example, if you contacted 10 people, did 3 respond or 8 respond, or what was
I would
that like?
say at least like between 2 to 4. I would say.
Wow, that's a really good
Two.
response rate.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah, I mean, if you of course, send a genuine note too whenever you connect with someone. You, instead of just hitting the connect button, I recommend, telling a little bit, actually dig into their profile and see what they're about, and, maybe watch some of their content videos, and, say something that you liked about their content, for instance, or like something, in common with the other person. And yeah, you'd be surprised how many people will reach out to you. And but you just gotta stay at it.
How do you fight the fake IDs on LinkedIn, right? Because there's a lot of that going on where people have created imposter profiles. And I guess the question is, how do I know I'm talking to a real person here and not a bot or some fake? Uh,
Yeah, I really like to. You just have to be extremely careful, And like a lot of times I reach out if I'm unsure about someone's profile. I'll like reach out to like a bunch of other people, in my network, and I'll say, are you familiar with this person, or does this person exist, or something like that? And most of the time I'll get, yeah, we know this person.
well, that's a good way to know. And I think another thing is, David, I don't know if you've run into this, but I've seen it a couple times where people have reached out to me, and then when I go to their profile, it really isn't meaningfully populated. Like there's nothing in it. It just says John Doe, caregiver or something like that. And you don't know, like, okay, so this doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
Right.
So when you were starting your search, did you have a very complete profile up there?
Yeah, once I really started networking, I did have, in the beginning, I didn't. And then I realized pretty quick that I needed to fill like everything out and have like a 5-star or 10-star, whatever you want to say, call it,
Yeah.
profile, because the more like keywords you can put in your profile, the more too that like recruiters, things like that, they're going to hit, pick it up in the system, and you'll get more profile views, things like that too. And something else I've learned too is like if you live in a smaller city, like where you put your name of your town, city, where
Yeah.
your location, you to get more profile views, you would want to say, like, you would want to list like a bigger city, like say for Chicago, for example. You
Yep.
wouldn't want to put like a small town, because no one, you
No
wouldn't
one
get
knows what that is.
as much traffic that way.
You've really dove under the covers on the LinkedIn algorithms. There's and there, I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but there's a reality that you are marketing to an algorithm if you want to get the number of views way up.
Yes. Something else. I'm sorry, talking about
No, please.
algorithms. You never want to, like, once you post, they call it like the golden hour or hour and a half. You never want to leave your post. You want to comment for at least the first hour, because that gives you more. Because the more comments that you have and the more likes you get, the more that, because that only, when you post, it only gives like a 1% to 2% of people actually sees it in your network. But the more people comments, it'll start like it within the first hour. That is, since they call it like the golden hour, because that'll like expand it out to even more people. So you really want to focus. Like, you don't want to, like, let's say, comment and then go to lunch or like go do something else. You want to just like try to stay there with it the best you can, unless you get back to work or whatever. But that's another tip. Something else you never want to do is you don't want to like edit your post like right away within the, like, if you misspell something, misword something, you'd want to wait.
I've done that a few times. Whoops.
wait just a few minutes before you edit it. Because if you do it within the like first 15 minutes, it kills the algorithm. So.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. What? You keep going. Is there anything else there? This is fascinating.
Yeah, something else too. You never want to comment. Like, let's say if you want to showcase someone else's work and you put a link. I know sometimes I put links inside of my post.
Yep.
But actually, a lot of times if you put a link inside of your post, it'll kill the algorithm too. You want to say, like, my link is included in comments below, and then wait a few minutes and then post your link, in the comments, because that also like slows the algorithm down too. So
that's very interesting. That's good information. And anyone looking to break into cyber, if I was to summarize, reach out to the positions that you're looking for. Ask them about their roles, right? And what they're doing and what their interview process was like. Post regularly, post between 10 and 11, maybe 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Go ahead and don't edit your post immediately, and try and get the comments up in the first hour of posting to get noticed.
That's what I've learned from my experience.
Fantastic. Now, let me ask you something. When you started out, what did you find as certifications that were useful in your journey to becoming a SOC analyst?
I would highly, and personally, I went for the Security Plus CompTIA. Right away. I just went like right away to Security Plus, which I studied networking too, and then I have a help desk system administration background, so I've done a little bit of networking anyway. So I kind of skipped the Net Plus, and I just went straight to Security Plus. Actually, of course, like the first time I actually failed the exam, the first time, but I just kept studying, went back and passed it. but that would be what I would recommend is Security Plus. I had very good luck with it. Ian Neal, he has a Security Plus book that he has written from. He's from Pack, the publisher Packet.
Okay, excellent.
Security 601. His name is Ian Neal. The book is like fantastic. That's what just personally what I use. And he has a free website. I wished I had the link. We could put it up, but I'm sure if someone types in Ian Neal Security Plus,
we'll put it in the show notes.
Yes, we'll definitely. It's like completely free. He has like all kinds of labs you can do, like hands-on labs, flashcards, all kinds of Security Plus questions. It's just really nice the way he's got it set up.
So, because I was going to ask you how you do this on a budget. Because one of the things I've seen, there's a lot of schools and things that are open. They're not cheap to learn this. And not everyone has the money to go forward with those things.
Right, definitely. And I recommend people like that don't have, much money. Of course, like me, starting out, I didn't have very much. I even watched like Professor. You're probably familiar with Professor Messer, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
He has some.
He has a lot of stuff out there.
Really good stuff, and it's all free, unless you buy his like practice exams. And I actually bought one of his practice exams, and it really helped me, prepare me for the test. And it was only like I think $15 or $20. I think he was running some kind of sale or special.
So very affordable.
So very, very affordable. That's he was talking about people that can't afford, and then just like any kind of free resource, I recommend. Which I'm not affiliated with like Try Hack Me or Let's Defend, but for red teaming, I would say do the free rooms on Try Hack Me. That's what I recommend people starting out, and then the free rooms on Let's Defend platform. I don't know. It's very good. Let's say we got Range Force. Range Force is good. They have a lot of good free stuff. So,
and those are great resources, and we'll try to get them into the show notes, because that is, there's this perception that in some cases you have to go through like a collegiate program, or you have to go through this formal training process, and that can be daunting depending upon where you're at in life, right? And
right.
And what you're describing are resources that are available out there that people can get their hands on. And I hope our listeners take a heed and rewind that part and listen to what David said there, and check out some of these free resources. And you're saying this from personal experience on what you have seen,
right? And there's just so much.
I was going to ask you, and it actually circles back to LinkedIn even. Your hashtag CyberTech Dave 100 days of cyber challenge. That's a heck of a hashtag.
It is.
But two questions there. One. Do you have some advice on how to use hashtags? And second, on what is your 100 days of cyber challenge? I'm very curious about that.
Oh yeah, about 10 months ago, I decided that I wanted to make some kind of challenge, for the community to come together, like some type of community challenge. And I've seen a lot of like cybersecurity challenges out there. And I just wanted to kind of make my own, put my own spin on it, because I call my CyberTech Dave. And I was just like, well, I'll name it CyberTech Dave 100 days of cyber challenge. I know that's a long hashtag as they recommend, people keeping it short, but I thought, that CyberTech Dave would maybe help on my maybe like personal branding too. I, but the main thing, not branding, I'll set that aside. But the main reason I made it is to help people. I wanted to
Yeah.
see, and there's so many people that's reached out to me and thanked me for the challenge. And they said it's really helped them stay consistent in their studies. That's what I hear. That's what I hear the most. People that's trying to break in, and then them like getting on LinkedIn. The challenge, I just kept it, pretty simple. I just said basically step one, just post on LinkedIn every single day for 100 days. Step two, I was like, no matter what level you are, whether you're a beginner, more seasoned professional, you can write about anything, whether that be like what you're working on, maybe labs you're working on, what you're learning about, like in school, maybe like what you're documentating. For documentation, let's say Security Plus, for instance, I had whenever I was doing like every day, I would like document my journey, and it's been really fun, watching everybody's journey, because you can like click on the hashtag or my 100-day hashtag tag, and you'll see there's like 1,500 like followers already, and all kinds of people, doing the challenge, and it's a lot of fun to go back and read everything, because it's you're not only helping them, but you're helping the entire community, and then you can like go back and learn stuff that you might not know. So I've had a lot of fun, with it, and I usually post like once a week. I do that typically on Saturday or Sunday. I'll throw like my CyberTech Dave post. I'll be like, hey, for everyone in the network that don't know about my post, come and join my challenge, and then I'll tell a little bit about it, and maybe point them in the right direction.
That's so cool. So, I take it then when people are, first of all, it takes a lot of discipline to post every day for 100 days, right? I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
you, yeah, you have to put some thought into it, but it also then creates a little bit of a structure to your day if you're participating in it, saying, hey, I'm going to do this. But I gotta believe I haven't gone and checked it out. Now I'm going to. I gotta believe there's a lot of comments that people probably are leaving up there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and I've had some reviews. Actually, people has written me a few reviews on my page. If anyone would like to come and check it out and look at it, it's completely free, to the community. So
Wow. Is there a set of topics that you've seen that are written about more often than others on up there?
That's a great question. I would say probably more red teaming, because just people find red teaming more sexy, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
and
that's right. There's a romance to it. People like
romance to
it.
pen testing. But the defenders don't get as much love. But personally, I love the defensive side. Um, as far as like the technical things, and defending people, that's what I love the most. Instead of trying to break into systems, which it's good to know, to learn a little bit of the red side too. That way you kind of know what you're up against. So it's good to study, both sides as a practitioner.
You know what? That's very true. And because that was a question I had for you, was like, how should people cross train? And that's something that in cybersecurity, I think it's really important if you're really going to excel, you do have to have some insight about all these other disciplines. It's not just one discipline, right?
Exactly.
And
Yes.
so
But
they should, like you're suggesting, I think it's a fantastic idea to have SOC analysts go on the red team. I also think that should reverse roles there a little bit. Let those
oh,
guys try and defend.
oh yeah, yeah. I've had like red teamers reach out to me and say that they've not done like any like SOC analyst type stuff. So like in my current company now, I'm actually trying to whenever we get a chance, everyone stays so busy and things, but I'm trying to like get a chance to maybe shadow some of the red team inside of Ideal, when time allows, that is. That way I
Yeah,
can actually see everything, in more, in action, and talk to them and see exactly what I'm defending. So,
yeah, that is. I think in some aspects, defending is a much more difficult exercise because you don't know what the other guy is thinking.
right.
One other topic that you brought up was you're writing a book about women in cybersecurity, right? To encourage more women in cybersecurity. How did that start off? Like, what is the title? Is it out yet, or
The
where?
title, it's actually not out yet. We've been talking to some, publishing companies, things. I can't really say, of course, a whole lot about that right now because I'm not sure on the title. But my ideal came. I've always wanted to give like a scholarship to women in cybersecurity for a long time now, and I was thinking about different ways, like how could I make that happen? And I come up with the ideal. I was like, well, why couldn't we have like a lot of women and male allies in the community come together, maybe write a few paragraphs on like how they broke into cybersecurity, and maybe give some tips like let's say how like questions like how women struggle in the industry, and questions geared toward the industry of women in cyber. And I've had a lot of responses so far. We've actually got I can say this, we have like over 20 something people
Wow,
that's already turned in their submitted their papers and things, but we're going to have to like go back and edit it, and then we're going
sure,
to add some more stuff to give it some more flavor. We're going to add all kinds of good stuff to the book. But mostly the book is the main reason I'm writing it is to encourage more people to get in, more women to get into IT and cyber. And my co-writer, Megan Jasko, I don't know if you
okay.
know
I don't
Megan,
know her.
but anyway, she's my co-writer, Megan. So if anyone has, any questions about the book, um, and we're still looking for people too, that's actually, and they don't have to be seasoned professionals. It can be like from a student's, we're looking at people like from a student's perspective, like what all like things that they've done so far to help them, get to where they're at to try to break into cyber. And for the more seasoned professionals, we ask the question like, what all kinds of transferable skills do you have? Or what all kinds of transferable skills have you gained like throughout your career? Like in customer service, let's say we've had some very interesting people coming from like healthcare, like nurses, for example. We have a nurse she became a SOC analyst, and she was talking about like everything that transitions, to like all the different types of assessments that they do, let's say stress levels, things like that. So it's
Oh,
very,
I'd
very
love to
interesting.
ask her why she did that, but
But very, very interesting topics. We have some really, really cool stuff going on right now.
uh, you know, this is a it's a profession that for the longest time has had a skewed balance between supply and demand of talented people. So it's ripe for having all kinds of diversity for women, minorities, everyone to be a part of it. And it's a great career that pays well. So I hope you your work encourages more and more people to come in. That would be fantastic.
I appreciate that, and too, like on as far as the book, like all of the money, we're going to do like 100%. We're actually talking to Women in Cybersecurity Foundation, and they're going to set up a scholarship
Oh,
for women.
fantastic.
So once we get it complete and then published, all of that, then all the money will go like specifically to scholarships only. So we're very excited about that. So
That's great. That's a fantastic idea. That's a great idea that you're going to take the profits and you're going to make them available to a scholarship, and that will definitely help people out. You know,
and then we can have and then we can have books and like conferences, things like that
oh
too.
yeah, you know,
So it's just the possibilities, are endless, and I hope it reaches as many people as we can with
well,
it. So
uh, given the focus you've shown in your all your efforts, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. And speaking of focus, I want to transition a little bit to
mm-hmm.
work as a SOC analyst, and we know SOC fatigue is a real thing. Talk to us about that. How what first of all, for our audience that doesn't know, what is it? And the second thing is, how do you deal with this thing?
All right. Well, first of all, what I feel like it is SOC fatigue is the amount of alerts, like alert fatigue that you get, because it's like you might have like 500 alerts in one day, just like you're constantly like
Yeah.
scanning files, URLs, different things like from threat actors, just suspicious files, processes. It's just like a everyday, like constant eyes on glass. Like, but I tell people like what I do to try to break up some of that feeling, is I try to exercise when I can. I tell people to stretch, exercise. That's something good to help with fatigue. Something else I would recommend is asking your manager if you can do other tasks. Let's say maybe like try to switch it up instead of doing like just alerts like all day. Maybe ask if you could spend some time maybe looking up threat intelligence, writing documentation in Confluence, something like that. Just something to kind of break it up a little bit. But I would that's kind of way and about for me probably about the 5th or 6th month mark I started getting that fatigue, so now I'm just trying to I'm trying to change directions and try to look at it different, if that makes sense. And instead of just saying, yeah, this is the same alert, coming in over and over every day, I try to maybe like dig in a little bit more to learn, more about the, doing like threat intelligence, things like that. Because, well, that's always been a passion of mine. That's something I would want to do in the future, is like
Threat intel.
transition to, intelligence, because I love tracking like information, threat actors. So, and trying to
That's
like put the puzzle, the pieces together, like trying to figure out. It's kind of like the old saying, like playing chess. You're trying to think about what move that they're going to make next. So
we had.
cybersecurity is like that when you think about it.
It's a fascinating field. We've had a couple guests on that have talked about it. Check out some of their episodes. But we had one gentleman that's actually diligently worked to infiltrate with human intelligence the networks of these bad actors and pull together the threat intel puzzle. And that's fascinating. I mean, that's real spycraft stuff,
Oh yeah, that is cool.
And he talked to us like, I don't know how he actually does it. And I'm sure he's not divulging sources and methods, but that would be a fascinating thing. But in regards to SOC fatigue, what do you think what kind of role does automation have in helping to reduce it?
I feel like automation really helps, which some of my engineers, on the team, they do a lot of the automation. I do feel like it's actually helped a lot, because the automation, the AI from it picks up like the low hanging fruit, I guess you could say, and you don't have to worry about that. It gives you more time to focus on other job or tasks that you have throughout the day. So yeah, I'm a big fan of automation. I wished I knew personally more, scripting, Python, than what I do, but of course, what I'm doing, I'm mostly just like triaging, like going through alerts and, figuring out if, like, what level of severity, doing running threat intelligence against each file. So that's basically what I'm doing like all day. But yeah, I love the automation side too.
Do you, based on what you're seeing in the industry, do you see a time when automation could perhaps replace a SOC analyst completely?
Oh, that's a great question. Personally, I don't believe that we'll ever be able to replace humans, completely, like a SOC, because some of the things that's more in depth, you pretty much like have to see, and you have to reach out to the customer and say like, hey, was this something that happened in your network? Or you see what I'm saying? There's a times that you have to like call out to the customers, and then they have to work, you have to work with, let's say, the networking team or their SOC team, whatever it may be. But yeah, I don't think it would completely replace it. No.
Yeah, that's I think that human interaction side, who knows? I mean, you look at Chat GPT and look at where it's gone. 100 years from now, maybe things will be different, but that's a very interesting perspective. And in the current state of affairs, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's certainly the case. Okay. I, Let me ask you, in terms what you've worked with so many clients, and from what you have seen, what are your some ideas or things that can be done for from a client perspective to improve their cybersecurity programs? Where do you see a lot of gaps that clients have that they make, or that they really need to up their games on in their company?
Um, from a client's perspective, I would say probably the number one gap would be uh, that they're not doing enough like risk assessment, because I think risk assessment is key to having a strong cybersecurity program, because that's like one of the first things you do.
And now you just opened up a big rabbit's hole. So, what, uh, what tell us about a risk assessment. I agree with you, but it's fascinating that you would go there and you're dead nuts on with this.
Yeah, I'm going that direction with it, because when I say risk assessments, for folks that may not know, it's basically, it tells you, let's say, for instance, you reach out to, let's say if it's a healthcare sector, and you do of course you have to be HIPAA compliant.
Right.
You would do a risk assessment, and then it would tell you what you need, to be compliant. But as far as like on the technical side of risk assessments, I would say, like, it would tell you exactly like what vulnerabilities, that you're going to need to prioritize, like what assets, that you have in your company. That's a big thing, because if you don't know exactly what assets you have in the company, I always tell people, how are you supposed to protect, what you can't see?
That's pretty basic, and you're absolutely right. And you ask and it's unfortunate. I don't think a lot of thought, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, a lot of thought is not put into that. What are we defending?
Right. See, a lot of people, they don't think about that's why I always go back to, I'm kind of like Kevin at KevTech. I kind of always go back to the fundamentals, because that's where it's at when you actually think about it, because it's like building a house. You can't build a strong house and protect, if you don't know the fundamentals, like how to build the foundation strong. uh, I'm just using kind of like that as an
No,
example, but that's
that's right. Now, risk assessments. Who should be leading that? Is that a cybersecurity role, or is that more of a business function, in your view?
in my view, a lot of it's just like IT risk, like a more of a business type, function. But I would say some of it, of course, it does have that security aspect too. So it's kind of like a fine line, between the IT business, cybersecurity, because it's just a little bit, like you said, it's different.
Are you familiar with the OWASP threat and safety matrix?
Some of it, the OWASP, uh, yeah, it's something that I don't use as much as, using the like vulnerability assessments. But yes, I know
Well,
what you
yeah,
what
the
you
reason I bring it up, David, is that it's pretty straightforward, and for those folks who are listening and want to look at a risk assessment, if you don't have anything and you're looking for some kind of a beginning point, it's a great place to start.
right.
And and it's free. You can go get it. You can go download it, and you can look at it, and you can use that as a basis to at least start off on your journey of assessing the risk.
Right.
So,
And then I recommend NIST too, is really, you know, really good to set controls and things, and your compliance.
yeah, and NIST has so many different levels. They have it for your basic cyber hygiene for a smaller enterprise, and then controls for a much larger operation. Um, I think sometimes people get intimidated when they go to the NIST website, because there's a lot of stuff there, and unless you're a practitioner and you know what you're looking for, it can
Right.
be overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, what is all this stuff?
And they keep changing the website too, so it doesn't help any.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So.
Well, NIST is involved with so many things, and yeah, you're right. That the site changes, and I don't see that stopping anytime in the near future. So, David, we're already pretty much at the hour. I wanted to give you a couple minutes to have the floor and talk about anything you wanted to talk about, and anything you want our listeners to be aware of, upcoming events, things you're getting involved with, things to look out, whatever your heart desires. Please, it's your floor.
Oh yeah, well, mostly I've just been, like we said, I've been just working on the book. I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but we're still needing people. So if anyone's interested, they can contact me or Megan Jackquote. I made a post about it on my page as well. I'll be making a post. If anyone wants to come and check it out, just contact me on that. And then, of course, I've been just working on my cybersecurity challenge. I've been talking about it each week. Encourage everyone, to come and check it out. That's been keeping, just the book. Well, there is something else that people can watch out. I'm actually working on a second book, so we're working on two books at one time. So one of the other book, it's going to be like about cybersecurity awareness, like how to protect yourself from maybe how to protect your family, your kids, from cyber criminals, things like that. So so me and Gabrielle B, we're going to be working on it. Joaz Santos is going to play a part in it. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, when it's out, let us know, and we'll be happy to post about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's fantastic. So you're really, I don't know how you find the time to do all this stuff. That's just incredible. That keeping working full time and then also being involved with so many other projects. That's. Do you sleep?
Yeah, well, I drink a lot of coffee too, so I pretty much swim in coffee. So
that's the secret.
Yeah, that's the secret. Having an entire pot each morning. but no, I do a lot of it. Since I work remote too, I work throughout the day, or I'll take my lunch throughout. And then during my lunch, I'll work on stuff, since I'm already here at home and I don't have to travel. Previously, where I used to work, I would travel 50 miles there, 50 miles back. So that was taking a lot of my time. So I usually get up about 4 o'clock every morning. So it gives me, more time to get some stuff done. So.
Fantastic. Well, hey, David, it's been a pleasure to have you here. And thanks for being on the show. And, anytime you want to come back, you're welcome back. Let us know.
Oh, yeah. It's been an honor having me on the show. We appreciate you. Glad to, thank you for reaching out.